The very first thing I want to point out about the Lord of the Rings Gollum is that this festering pile of shash debuted at $60. $60! Team Daedalic wanted damn near AAA price for this 1996 software etc. bargain bin codswallop. Now that doesn't take just brass balls. That takes full-on 10-pound 24-karat gold balls.
I love gold!
The second thing I want to say right up front is that The Lord of the Rings Gollum is the direct-to-video Disney sequel of Lord of the Rings games. It's the Lion King 1.5 of Lord of the Rings games, a non-canon side story that takes place in one of the slowest, dullest portions of the narrative that the original author saw fit to glance by with a couple of expositionary lines, here expanded to pointless and entertainment-sucking degree to the point where you will question your personal faith after having experienced it. This game covers all the events that happen to Smeagol after he's captured and brought to Mordor for torture and questioning. You know, in the scene that took 30 seconds to cover in the movie. Well, here it's going to take you about 13 to 15 hours. You'll get to experience the thrill of Gollum languishing away in Sauron's prison, getting to know characters that Tolkien never wrote, becoming the Igor to the main villain's Dr. Frankenstein, toiling away at boring chores and minigames that feel like they're from a different game entirely, all the while working towards a means of escape so Smeagol can hunt down Frodo and Sam. The graphics are raw fish guts on the screen, just awful. Ugly and cheap. It looks like a Wii game. Now, I know I've said that about other games, but it was never more true than here. It looks like an upscaled Wii game. Gollum himself is just laughable. He looks like Alfred E. Newman with mange. The rest of it just looks like they bought a Tolkien texture pack. It's very generic, and even when you make it out into the forest, it almost looks like those square forest corridors from the first Kingdom Hearts game. This is what you can expect visually from a team that was more accustomed to making Day of the Tentacle ripoffs. The music is par for the course dark dungeon stuff. It's not the Howard Shore OST from the films. Far from it, that would have actually cost real money. No, it's serviceable, but it's nothing on the scale of epicness and dread that it thinks it is. The voice acting is actually pretty good, though I'm sorry, I just could not accept this interpretation of Smeagol's voice. The actor's doing a fine enough job, but the tone is just not squirmy enough. He sounds more like a side villain from Rescue Rangers than Gollum. Otherwise, I have no complaints about the voice acting. The story that's coming out of their mouth, on the other hand, it's Tolkien fanfiction that could only be worse if you stumbled into a Framwise shipping page.
I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you!
Now, at first glance, you will think this is a stealth game along the lines of the more than serviceable Styx game series. Well, you would be wrong. Yes, there's stealth in it, sure, but this is not a stealth game. For the bulk of it, until you make it out of Mordor anyway, it's a prison life simulator filled with daily busy work and abhorrent mini-games that you're forced to take part in while you get the plot and a means to escape fed to you in trails of moldy breadcrumbs. 1 minute you're herding wild hyena things into pens by just running there and climbing up a wall, and the next minute you're playing Easter egg hunt where the eggs are replaced with corpses. And when you have the thrilling crawl through a tunnel and set off an explosive, then come back the way you came while absolutely nothing happens but the music wants you to think it does game, you know you've reached the bottom of the barrel. Well, not really, because then you get to go back to your cell and go to sleep. Oh my.
I'm almost annoyed.
Story-wise, you end up spending years down there, eventually becoming the Andy Dufresne of the story. The main bad guy, Candleman, makes you his lackey, You play a mini game to raise a bird who becomes your companion, and through it all, you occasionally have little mini events where your Smeagol side and your Gollum side argue. It's just a matter of picking right text options, as lazy and pointless as it gets. The controls throughout are less responsive than one of Bill Cosby's dates. You will constantly run off cliffs because the jump button fails to respond. You'll sometimes jump way farther than you were meaning to, and just as often not far enough. Button prompts will misfire. You'll jump for a ledge and Gollum will fail to grab the wall you smashed right into. There's no combat in the game. There is stealth, but it's stealth mechanics that's about as deep as backyard hide and seek. If you stand in the grass, you're invisible. If you stand in the shadows, you're invisible. Some guards you can sneak up and choke to death, but if they're wearing a helmet, that will get you killed. All of it is barely used. I can count on one hand the amount of times I had to actually kill a guard because more stuff flies under their radar than a WWE referee.
Two legal men are in the ring. And the referee knocked down.
The game was developed by Daedalic Entertainment, a studio that previously was primarily known for point-and-click LucasArts on a budget-style adventure ripoffs. Now they're a metaphor for biting off more than you can chew. Had they stuck to what they knew and made a point-and-click adventure Lord of the Rings game, they might have scraped by with a meager profit and their reputation intact. Unfortunately, they shot for the moon and hit something else instead. Lord of the Rings Gollum gets a 2 out of 7.